Greetings. My name is Dr. Willie Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Forum. Today we have an exemplary guest, Elder Willie Brooks. He's a community activist, Lake County, and he and his wife are elders at Christian Faith Fellowship Church in Zion, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elder Brooks is on the show by recall. Demand. He's been on the show several times, and the audience want to continually have him on the community forum. Greetings, Elder Brooks.
Well, how you doing, Mr. Brooks? I'm so glad to see you up and about. I miss you. I'm so glad people thought enough of me to ask me to come back on the show. I do speak my mind. Sometimes I hurt a few people, but in the real, we got to be real. So I'm glad you're back as a moderator, and I'm glad to be back to talk to you about what's going on in the community.
Well, I think it's time. We've talked about problems, and we talked about solutions, So tonight we're going to talk about challenges in the community 2014. Now, 2014 has some unusual challenges, right, that 2013 didn't have.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge we really have is education.
Okay.
Most of our schools in the community are closing. They're closing down schools. They're grouping more bigger classrooms together. So now, what can we do as a parent?
Okay.
What can we do as a parent when schools get overcrowded because they're closing schools? So
well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the driving force. Why are the schools closing? Is it because of the citizens are moving out of the city, or just what is the problem?
Well, technology, for one thing. Technology. We had to base, the U.S. Naval Base here, closed down half its recruiting. Now they just go to RTC, and after RTC, the advanced training, most of that is in Texas.
Okay.
And so now they ship them out, and years ago they would have most of them stay here for advanced training. Now they graduate out of recruit and they leave the next day. So that have hurt our economy in this region tremendously. And so I noticed that in the barber shops. I noticed that in the grocery stores. So, we used to have people come in here and stay for 6 years.
Okay.
Now they keep moving. So that hurt. Now, another thing, we're having less babies. We're having less, reproduction is down. I mean, among working people. People that really came in here with work. We don't really have a foundation of homeowners anymore in North Chicago. I don't know about Waukegan. It's not really, they got this more of a Section 8 type city now, where people don't own homes and care about what's going on. The owner care about the streets ain't been paved. So now we got more of people coming here now looking for a job, unskilled.
Is North Chicago, for example, 70% renter occupied? That's a huge percentage.
That's a huge percentage. But it's two ways they're doing it. They pushing people towards, they're pushing people either to North Chicago, or they push them out to Round Lake.
Okay.
Waukegan rejecting them, or they push them to Zion.
Okay.
It's less and less rental in Waukegan than it is Zion and North Chicago. And Round Lake. Yeah. They pushing away. Matter of fact, I just down in North Chicago today. That building right in front of what's happening right there on 17th.
Yeah.
They finna put a lot of Section 8 people there in that building. So that'll be like the towers, or that'll be like down south side of Chicago project.
So the people won't completely leave the city when they exit Marion Jones.
They would keep them in the city. They would keep somebody in the city because they refurbishing that building right there on Sheridan Road. And they're going to bring mostly Section 8 people there. A lot of people can't survive out of this area. Their grandmama was on Section 8 or some kind of public, their great-grandmama, all of them stayed in Mary Jones. I'm not knocking them, but it became a culture. I see right now they're going to do a Mary Jones reunion, I think, in a couple of weeks. I just seen the sign today. So,
do you really believe that there will be a change in families there in Mary Jones for middle and high income families?
Well, you have to tear down the old structure called poverty. Right now, how can you hire some people without skills or education? Dishwashing job, now you got to hit a lot of different buttons, and you got to go online to apply for the job.
Okay.
So most schools in North Chicago just not getting computers, laptops and all that, iPod. They got cell phone. All the kids got $500-600 cell phone. But they don't buy iPods where they can go and learn it, because in Gurnee they teach 5-year-olds. They give them an iPod for the year. So they're already technology aware when they're 5, preschool. So they're getting ready already for the future.
Why aren't the students in North Chicago getting the iPods and iPads and the technology?
Can't nothing happen if the people don't be behind something happening. If you don't have a visionary behind the people, that's where homeowners come in at. Because if not enough going to city hall or school board meeting and don't say nothing, then the school board don't go through the routine of having a school board meeting. Everything must be okay, but if you get a movement behind that and say, I want my kids to have iPod. I want my kids. Then they look around and say, we don't have to give your kids nothing because the state ain't gave us no money because you on Section 8. Or you get, they devalue people going through. That's what I'm saying. They devalue. Nothing wrong with Section 8. But I'm saying they devalue them. They think they don't have a voice, but they still have a voice. They got more of a voice because they're getting government subsidy.
You speak about money when you speak about government subsidy. What about the charter school on the base? The school district is giving a charter school $1.5 million for the charter school. And it's my understanding that it has not excelled there, but that the sort of money is there, it's just not utilized. Why can't the money be used to upgrade all the schools in North Chicago rather than just give it to one school?
That's an old system. The new system is if they test your kid at 4 or 5 years old, and they can see the potential in them, they're plucking the good kids out, putting them in charter school. They still are citizens of North Chicago. They just want the best educated for them. They're not letting Bebe and Ray Ray come in and interrupt the class. And one of the kids that really got learning ability. Because all across America right now, they're only taking the cream of the crop and putting them in charter school. The rest of them is a holding place for the penitentiary. Or because we have nowhere to put them. We have nowhere to put these kids if we went into technology. If you got a phone that can call you, if I got a phone, I can cut my lights off. I got a phone right now, I can face you, and I could be in Alabama, and I can talk to my brother in Alabama, me FaceTime on my phone, my computer right there. So where they gonna work at? What they gonna do?
Now, you mentioned incarceration. But if a student drops out and suspended, expelled, and they're going to do the things that cause them to be incarcerated. Now, if they are, it costs at least about $50,000 per inmate in the state, and over maybe $100,000 per inmate in the federal prison.
Well, that's all privatized companies that are taking over prison. They're bigger and bigger. Lake County, they're bigger. Excuse me, Lake County, they're building a bigger jail system. Because they're already getting prepared for the kids they got in regular school. They're getting them now. They're going. They already. If you get a record, if you get any kind of record, it stay with you for life. So you go to jail at 16, 17, 18, 19. You never work.
You know, you're very resourceful,
Yeah.
and I can see why you got a recall
Yeah.
back here on Community Forum, because it is a fact. A lot of studies have been done that if a child is having difficulty in reading by the 3rd grade,
Yeah.
that child is going to have difficulty all the way through school and going to drop out of high school, and the next avenue is to incarceration. These are facts. So they got people, studies have been made. The data is there.
Yeah, well,
The show.
That's why I'm on the show. I mean, I just come out the back of my head. I just brought that one up. But we also got to look at it. We also got to look at everything. We're looking at a local view, but everything we do is also a world view and a nation view. What's happening in Chicago, Waukee, and Zion is happening all over the country. They're allowing our kids to be live in these poverty states, food deserts, education deserts, and, because they don't need them anymore. I just talking about they got a bill called EB5 in Detroit, where they allowed all the land to go dead. They letting all the people, downtown is up and going and running, and a lot of money going. But all around the rest of the city, the lights don't come on in part of the city at night. They just terrorizing all the people. But all that's going to come to a halt because they say, I read an article where they say we'll bring in foreigners. We'll bring in 5,000 foreigners because we've seen a study that they will be able to be more productive citizens. They will have better skills to reproduce. They are better with businesses. We've seen that they run businesses better. So we're not just talking about Hispanics. We're talking about Asians, Russians. We're talking about people of other ethnic groups. So it's a big plan to allow us to kill ourselves off. How do you, one murder on the north side of Chicago, every police in the city come, 10 people get killed on the south side of Chicago, it's just a norm. You don't know if you're going to get back to, me and you in this station in Chicago, we don't know if we're, but the same mayor is running both sides of the city. So they letting one side kill themselves off because they have nowhere to place them. They don't go to school, they have nowhere to place them. In technology, with nothing for them. Less and less jobs for them, more and more technology, less and less for normal people. So they know it's enough money worldwide from China, all this Russia and all, they know it's enough worldwide money that they don't need to tolerate no longer with us local views and our local uneducated self. So the challenges of 2014, we must be aware of the bigger plan. The challenges of 2014, we as parents must educate our kids and tell them, no, it's a bigger plan for you if you don't learn. We have to be more hands-on people instead of letting elected people come in and pimp us and tell us what they're going to do for us and what they could do for us. We must come back to being a hands-on community. We elect these people. We elect them out of favoritism or because we knew them. But we as people, but the revolt must start in the people. You see over there in Russia, one part of Russia right now, they fighting. The revolt don't come through people talking. The revolt comes through people action. And we must get mad enough and tired enough that we see our grandchildren not being included 10 years and 20 years from now. They're not going to be included. They're excluding them now at 3, so what do? We don't sit here and talk about it no more. We get action. And you even at the gay rights. You can talk about the gay rights either or for or against, but they came together and activated a movement that changed the way America see them right now. So we have to applaud them in certain ways because they didn't just sit around and talk about it and complain, why do we do this to them? Why did they do this to us? They put their money together and involved themselves in the political movement of this country and made laws change for them to gain who they were. So the challenges is that 2014, we must come out of playing church and playing politics as the people and allowing these people who have no entrance to the back door. And we must get together and start a movement as Ralph Peterson tried to do in North Chicago, gather the people. And the people don't want change. The people don't want school, the older people. They think I got mine. Abbott don't even have no more. I'm going to work at Abbott, I'm going to work at Johnson Motors. They're not here anymore. So what do we do as Afro-Americans and not only Afro-Americans, citizens of the United States, citizens of Illinois, citizens of Lake County, and citizens of our local city. What do? We stop talking and we tell these elected officials that we elected, we want action or we gonna put you out. That's what the challenge is now.
Well, in year 2008, people were excited all over the country. They had a president that they felt that they could confide in, and President Barack Obama got reelected in 2012, and so they may call him a lame duck president, but he's actually very active now. Now, that's at the federal level, but what about, why is there so much apathy at the local level?
Because the local, we have no local leaders.
Oh.
We got some has-beens who run, when a noise comes, they run out the cave, but our local leaders are non-existent.
Well, let me put this down.
No local leaders.
Okay.
Ralph Peterson is a man I respect who comes with the truth, but being a leader calls for you to gather people of all ethnic groups with a plan.
Okay.
And we must complete our plan.
In business, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
You plan to fail.
In business.
In business.
But we're going to have a leader that had to have a business plan for the
We have
city.
nobody in Lake County. After Gideon passed from Word of Light with Fairchild.
Okay.
And he stood up to the powers that be.
Okay.
It hasn't been another leader in Lake County, Afro-American leader. I mean, there hasn't been another leader. A leader don't just get the Baptist Ministerial Alliance.
Okay.
A leader brings all people together. See, a leader is different than being a good pastor. A leader goes out there and get the gang member and draw him in. A leader go out there and can talk to all sets. I can talk to Hispanic people. I can talk to white people. I can talk to the Polish people, because a cause. See, a cause takes me past my ethnic group. It takes me past the pulpit. A cause that people rally around because he sees something. Then he have a solution to what he sees. And so when he sit down and explain it to somebody, they catch that vision. And they say, we can't take it no more. Taxes is too high. Paying taxes, I ain't getting nothing for it. But everywhere, even in America, the Tea Party. Remember over in the East Coast when they first had the Tea Party. They ain't talking about the Tea Party now. It came out of revolt against a system that it was overtaxing them.
Okay.
So now we being left behind, but who is going to say something? Because most of the elected officials, most of the preachers are being paid by the system that's throwing everybody out. So who do we stand up to? How can we stand up to? Because they always come at the leader. So if they come at the leader and discredit the leader who comes out, then they either buy him out or we're going to get you. We know you stole that dime 20 years ago. Or you and Mary went together. So now they hit the Google and they found everything you did, so nobody want to step out and be a leader.
So this is what happened in the city of Chicago.
In Chicago.
We want to know why the ministers don't come forward with the great congregations that they have. It should get the people together, not only just Jesse Jackson that push on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock.
They won't change.
But they give the ministers, maybe you can have a daycare center here.
Yeah.
And the ministers are satisfied with that daycare center.
Shut his mouth.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And he's silenced.
If you don't get involved political comes to economical. You can't go into anything economical until you go into political realm. It's like a pyramid. It comes down from political to economical. Economical cannot change until your political views change. And most of us are tied to a system called Democratic Party. So whatever we say, we got to bow to somebody of authority in the political system. Otherwise, you don't open your daycare center. You don't get your taxi cab to be a taxi driver. If you notice in Chicago, all your taxi cab drivers are mostly Arab people.
Ah.
You know, they from Africa or they're Muslims.
Okay.
Not knocking it, just saying they have come together and they run the whole caste system in all your major cities. So they get political power, gives them economical power. So I get Johnny from Poland. He come over here. He got Johnny. He got no job. Well, we call downtown. We give him a job driving cab. He don't know how to drive cab. But they teach him how to drive cab. Next thing you know, Johnny's working when you got 9 brothers on the corner still singing the boo-bop, still singing back in the 1960 song, waiting on somebody else's check.
Is this the reason why Al Sharpton cannot get people to come out of the slave mentality?
Al Sharpton,
Is he?
that's your buddy. So Al Sharpton.
Well, I tell you now,
Al Sharpton.
he's not my buddy, but I do listen to
I know,
him
but Al
at 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday,
But
MSNBC.
well, did you see where they just came out that Al Sharpton was the informant back in the day? Al Sharpton still worked for the system.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not knocking. They gave me a job, paying me $100,000, $200,000 a year. I'd probably be talking with you. But Al Sharpton, all these guys are paid people to keep us suppressed, to keep us looking back. No other person come to America and keep looking back at their history. You know, they see they see America as the place of opportunity. That's why Africans, real Africans, don't like you.
Yeah.
Real Africans don't socialize with you. We call ourselves Afro-Americans, but we don't socialize with me and you. They think we about the ignorant people in the world. And we in the country of the milk and honey, and we around here begging for a welfare check. So they don't have nothing to do with us. They tell them before they leave Africa, do not involve yourself with them American blacks because they don't want nothing. They living here and still crying about that over, you got to pay me back for my grandfather being a slave. You owe me nothing. You owe me nothing. You owe me all I do. I'm breathing the air. You give me opportunity. I'm going to take it. I'm going to seize the moment, and I'm going to get it.
So you don't believe in reparations, huh?
For what?
That's because Congressman Conyers has been placing this on the agenda each year.
But the city of Detroit, the people is poor, the people have nothing. What he should have been doing is trying to get some economic money into the city where he's been congressman for the last 35, 40 years and keep his city flowing. But now he over there talking about some slave matters back over there on his own private agenda. No, I ain't going for that. If you go in Detroit and see how bad them people live in Detroit and how far all the houses tore down, all the stuff is bad, all the politicians that stole all the money, and he talking about reclamation, they should get it back from Coleman Young, who told all the white people to get out of the city and told all the black people. We told all the white people, I was living there, told the white people get across 8 Mile and don't come back. All the white people had money.
Coleman Young.
Coleman Young. They hold him up like he was a big king or something. On the real, he ran all the money out and ran the city down to nothing.
The love of money is the root of all evil, right? Money is okay. The love
gotta have
of money.
You got to have money, but do you have to sell your people out for it?
But I never seen a Brinks truck behind a hearse yet.
No, he may be on the side of it. Maybe he'll be running before him. They put the money down under the body. The money goes under the body.
Well, you in Detroit, you know very well, and everybody's want to know why it's such a disaster there, you know.
It's not a disaster.
But we just had a African-American mayor go to prison, right?
Yeah. But it's not see, they perceive and they give you a perception of the city. But they got 5 casinos in Detroit, each one of them taking in over $1 million a day.
A day.
So now it's not a rundown city. We being true and thick. Now other people from other countries that came up and bought up all the vacant property.
Okay.
So when I'm saying it's an up and coming city.
Okay.
And we got to watch it because what they're doing now, they got the pension people into bankruptcy. So if they win this case and don't have to pay the people they pension, that's going to set precedents around the world.
Okay.
They owe you nothing for all your years of service because they stole the money.
Wow.
So we at that point now. We all better be watching that Detroit.
You know, we talked about the local level. We have students graduating from high school, can't even read. How is this allowed to happen? What happened is that the community college, Collinsville Lake County, will accept them. Like we heard a statement by the principal of North Chicago High School said, and this was at the graduation, that 97% of the students either going to community college or a college. But what happened, a community college will accept them,
Yeah.
but give them remedial training.
Well, you got to look at it like this.
So they prepare them for,
Another college. But you got to
community
also,
college.
but you also look at all this. The local college need money.
Okay.
And it comes down to that almighty thing called dollar. Yeah, I'll take you in. But
Okay.
you got to get a government loan to get in here.
Okay.
So now you done use your government money, and just when you drop out, your money keep going. They got the money already. You may not go but half a semester. Now you owe them for something you didn't even do because you had a thought to do it, but you keep hanging out with your boys, your local boys who smoking weed and everything, so you really don't go. You go there to plead. So if you look, what is the dropout rate of freshmen at CLC?
Yeah.
I'd like to know the dropout rate of people who signed up to go and don't go, if you're talking about 95%.
Then, yeah, 97%.
So how many drop out in the first 3 weeks?
So the true stories has to be analyzed.
Yeah, because you got to see the money. If you don't see the money, nobody take you nowhere without money. You can't get in nothing without money.
Okay.
Go to a movie and say, man, it's a nice movie. I'm going to take some popcorn, me and my wife. They're going to say, you got to buy a ticket.
Okay.
And the ticket ain't cheap. So wherever you go to now, the popcorn, the movie theater is not cheap. You know what one class in the university.
The high taxes that the residents pay.
Yeah.
Majority of them go for schools.
For schools. And we get
I
the
bet
we don't- we-
70%.
and we
go
get
for
the less educated
Yeah.
people that preach at school.
And also, you notice that, I don't know about the other schools, but North Chicago bringing administrators from Chicago. Chicago is a failing school system,
Yeah.
and they bring those administrators up here to another failing school district. So,
It's a recycle. But the teachers union, going back to what I told you,
okay,
political brings on economical.
okay,
The teachers union of Illinois is one of the most powerful unions
Okay.
in the state.
okay,
So there you go again. Political, they got the best pension in the Illinois School Association, Teachers Association. They're the
Okay.
most powerful in the state.
okay.
So they got their hand on everybody. They got their money in everybody's pocket. So everybody react to what the school, whatever the teachers union say. So they need some place to replace these people so they can get their retirement. So
Okay.
they send them out here. They're still in the state union.
Yeah.
It's all about money. So our kids who being left behind, the challenges of 2014, our kids are being left behind because of the union, of the teachers union, who control the failing teachers in a failing society. And we're moving forward in the 21st century. That technology is our main thing. We must get our kids involved in technology. If they're not involved in technology, they're going to be left behind.
Well, another challenge is gun control. Why can't we get a gun control bill passed? What is the problem? We can't even get background checks. That seems like a minimum.
Why are
you
we
know?
worrying about gun control? I mean, what's the real big deal?
We got to keep guns out of people's hands.
Ain't no gangsters. Go back to the 20s.
Okay,
Gangsters get guns when they want them.
okay,
It's you and I who don't have a gun. Now they're trying to keep you and the local people sitting, old grandma sitting in the house watching TV.
Okay.
I look over and know she ain't got no gun. I run through the door, snatch the TV, and run out the house. Well, grandma's sitting there weighing, what just happened? But if grandma had a gun, grandma could have tagged that rascal right when because he knows she ain't got no gun. He just knows grandma ain't got no right to have no gun.
Okay.
So he comes walking down the street. He looked through grandma's window. Grandma watching TV. Because you know, grandma like to keep her window open. So he watched grandma. So he know where grandma and he know ain't nobody. So he went in there and snatched the TV. But he know grandma ain't got no gun. So we better have guns in people's hands. And that'll stop some of this rob and grab and snatch. I mean, you sit in your own house. People now just walk up and, hey, I know you. I don't know you. Get away from my door. That six-pack lets them know go. I believe in guns.
like school teacher have a gun. If a person come in unannounced, you know, that's what you never know
They
who's
gonna
got
get a broom? What, they gonna get a broom? Get out of here, Johnny. Don't kill us. No, power gotta meet power. We're in a violent world right now. As you see the other day, they went in Las Vegas and they shot 2 police just because they wanted to.
Yeah.
Just because they wanted to. So we're in a violent world right now with no limits. And we citizens don't have no guns. If
those people had background checks, they couldn't have gotten.
What is a background check? You bring Haspinio over here from another country.
Okay.
You can't check him. It stopped at the gate. Background check only check Americans. So you bring all these people from other nations over here. The background only stops at a nation. It don't go outside the nation and pick meet Mexico or some downtown, some little town in Mexico or Australia somewhere. They don't have a computer system. So how you gonna check him, his background? You only go check him from America. And so that goes to a limitation of background, because the only person they can check is you and I, because we've been here all the time.
We had a youth funeral, 15 years old, at 5 o'clock in the evening at First Corinthian Missionary Baptist Church in North Chicago.
Okay.
Earlier that day, a young lady was shot in the head. So she was shot in the head at about noon or 11 o'clock or something, the same day a person. So what's going to happen? Why is there so much? What about the youth needs?
Well, let's go back to the gun.
Okay.
That gun didn't come from background check. That gun came like from Al Capone. Them had gun runners. They all illegal. It's more illegal guns. So where they gonna get the background check for nice people like you, the nice 3-piece suit on? If somebody really want a gun, you put it out, the word out, 15 minutes later, I got a gun. I mean, that's for the people illegal. This is why I'm gonna go back. But there's so much illegal activity out here, and you talking about the kids. They have no foundation. Baby had to raise himself up by himself. He's mad with his daddy. He mad with society. He couldn't fit in school. And the little girl he looked over at, she winked at him, and he didn't know how to be a boy. So he never. His reaction was physical and not mental. So we lost a generation who grew up physically, but not mentally. So now they care about nobody. So we had to put bars on our window. We had to carry a gun, and we had to be aware of our surroundings. Challenges of 2014.
So we're going to continually have crime in the streets in our cities, not only in, so we mentioned North Chicago, but other cities too?
Well, what happened to prayer?
You don't want to hit the other cities.
Well, what happened to prayer? You say, see, all this violence come, ain't nobody praying. We go to church to hear a word.
Okay.
And we walk out. But if you say, I'm praying, they say, let me wait till y'all have the service, because I just want to hear a word. They wipe prayer out of the church. Prayer, we'll call a prayer revival, we hear a sermon. What happened to prayer? No church prayed for an hour. He said, can you pray with me for an hour? You mean you can't pray with me for an hour? We have no hour prayer. Because people nowadays just want to come in, hear a word, and go get back in their car and cut some more worldly music on. Nobody praying. So there's no prayer in the land. What's going to happen? The evil one takes over because he know ain't nobody praying. Churches on every corner, 5 in the middle of the block. Ain't nobody got unity to pray. We hating each other. One church at the end of the block hate the other. How do we hate? He said, I'm loved. If you can't be loved, then you ain't the son of mine. You're a son of the evil one. So what happened to prayer? How many times did they call a prayer meeting? One day on Wednesday, 6 people show up. What happened to prayer? Nobody want to pray nobody. Nobody want to just lay before God and say, God, I'm tired of this city being like this. Let me pray.
2 Chronicles 7:14.
If my people humble themselves. See, nobody pray.
And turn from their wicked ways.
They won't turn because they like it.
Okay.
Ain't no tragedy happen. Only time people want to pray is like if a plane drop, or we call it a prayer meeting, and shoot them. Everybody come out with their little flowers and their little light, and we want to pray till the feeling get over. But what happened to prayer before this happened? To keep the evil one away from our children, to keep our city protected. The challenges of 2014, let's pray. Everybody want to preach, but nobody want to pray. Never hear these preachers praying, but they want to preach. Anybody can preach.
And they want a retirement system.
Oh, everybody wants.
Your retirement is when you leave here.
They want a party for
With your Heavenly Father. That's your retirement.
They trust you. The church is especially the black churches. The trust of God they got in you going to work and you getting your pension.
Okay.
They don't trust God no more. The trust of God. Where they trust in God, they ain't looking for money because most of them in foreclosure because they had big visions, but they didn't have no provision because God had turned his head. These people just keep pimping our people, pimping these single women, pimping the people. Yes, it's a season where we got to really know God for ourselves because half these people just looking for our money. Give me your money. Every day is some day to get your money. And our young people are turning their head away from church because they seeing their mama and their grandmama get robbed at church, believing in a fairy tale that God's going to bring a check to your house tomorrow. You never work. Ain't nothing coming to you. You got to pray. He said in the last days, a lot of them going to be calling themselves mine. They ain't none of mine. They're the sons of the devil. They have no power. They're just gathering people. Every Sunday and Wednesday gathering, having a party. And the Spirit of God ain't even there. And you seeing what's happening to our children, what's happening. And the challenges, how do we go to challenge of 2014? Let's come together and pray. Pray. Without a leader, let's pray. Jesus Christ is my leader.
In a home, the matriarch of the family should lead his family.
Yeah.
If we had the leadership in the home, then that would take.
It's hard to change
the family.
It's a broken
prays
home.
together, stays together.
But it's a broken home.
So
girls have babies at 12. She never know what a home was. So she don't have. They're not used to my home sitting down eating dinner together. Nobody never ate dinner together.
Okay.
They used to eat McDonald's pizza. The generation don't know. Johnny looked good to them. They go to bed with him. Now they make a baby. I love Johnny. I don't even know Johnny. Okay. All we did was went to bed. Two people with lust. Now she beating Johnny up. Johnny, you won't pay for the baby. Johnny can't get a job because Johnny got to pay child support. He never worked before because he is home with his mama in the basement. When he come out the basement, every check he worked, they're taking child support because the system got the baby, paying him Section 8 and paying the baby. So the system got our kids thinking it's a free ride. Ain't nothing free. Ain't nothing free.
We look to, actually, Christ is our mediator between God, you know. But we look at the sports figure, say for instance, it was in the paper, Sean Marion had this young lady, had a baby by her, and I mean, that was just the news media was happy to show that, you know.
What he had to do?
Well, they just showed him that this is Sean Marion with a Caucasian, I guess she's Caucasian, I guess, you know, and mentioned that he had a baby. Now, that's newsworthy.
Well, that's newsworthy. But, you know, the newspaper is one of the racist places we can go to because the first 3 pages, page 2 and page 3 of all your papers always bring a lot of different black people who committed crime. Them page 2, 3, maybe 4. Them pages will show pictures of Afro-Americans that have committed crime. So they always bring up, that's what I'm saying, how can you lead when they always want to bring up something negative on you? You know what I'm saying? It's hard for a person to step out. We don't get people even want to run for office no more because we all have a background. And they want to sift through it and bring out everything you ever did for you to lead. Anytime you open your mouth, like I'm over my mouth, man, everything in the world going to come at me for letting them know you have power within to pray to God, to answer. Because there's nothing going to just happen. Nothing going to fall in the mail. Ain't nothing just going to all of a sudden put you up and, oh, man, God's good. No, if you do, he'll come along and help you. We must start the community, a revolution in the community for better schools, lower taxes. But we keep electing the same people, and our elected officials don't even hear from us if it's not during election time.
It's not too late to let our audience know that the statements from our guests are his and not of the station or the host.
That's what I'm trying to come back to say now. See, what I say, it have to be me saying it, because if you say too many words to the left or to the right, you'll be here next week. With me, they just say don't bring him back. You can't hit the system.
Supreme Court decision on gay rights. I was looking at the church's reaction?
They can't say too much. Half of them gay.
Oh my.
And the other half got babies in the church. We in a craze. These men that come on TV, most of them got babies in the church. And they overlook it like it ain't nothing.
The leaders in the
The
church.
leaders in the church got babies in the church. And everybody know it, but everybody don't say nothing, so they can't say nothing. Yeah, in the church. Yeah, in the church, got babies. That brother down there in preach black man, preach, I can't think of his name, Brian. He had a church. Most of the preachers on TV, black ones, they got babies in the church, in the street. but we got to fight against the lust. We see it from a carnal part. We see it, but we don't know what come at them after they preach the word. The devil came after Jesus after he came out of the wilderness.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to him. I'm not blaming the preacher. All kinds of lust may come after him after he get through preaching the word. And are we praying for him? Or are we talking about him? Because after they preach the word, they vulnerable. So here come Miss Susie getting them some water, and they look at Miss Susie because the enemy come make something look good to you.
What about Miss Susie coming to church and sit on the front row with her legs crossed?
Well, it don't make no difference.
Woman of the street.
They always been, it's gonna always be.
Okay.
I had to pray for myself every day that I don't get caught up. When I'm praying, when I'm talking about them, I next thing, well, no, Brother Willie got baby. Man, I'm 65 years old. I ain't made no baby. But I don't know what'll come out of me if I'm out there sneaking and creeping because the devil ain't playing. So I have to be aware of my surroundings because I am a leader and I am a spokesman. So I have to keep myself sanctified from different things, events in different places I can't go because I carry the God in me to wherever I go. So I understand being a leader and being attacked by the lust of money and lust of the eye.
We got so many fraternities, we got sororities and so forth, and that should be providing mentorship to our youth. But I guess it's like what you say about the ministers. They're involved too.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them very difficult for them to mentor to our youth.
Well, our youth don't want really, I mean, I was talking to a person the other day talking about all the money being left behind for scholarships.
Okay, right.
That we're unaware of. Our children get money left on the table for our children to go to school.
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. I ain't talking about some chump change.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars left on the table because they can't find kids to give the money to for their scholarship. That's because we're not talking to each other. There's no communication. That's where we go back to community. Community means we're supposed to be community. The unity of the community. I shouldn't duplicate what you and your wife.
You cannot have community unless you have unity. Unity is.
You got to have unity. So I can't duplicate what you and your wife have established over the years.
Okay.
But then I go and I say, you know, they done it. I can go, I'm not anointed for that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But let me stay in my lane and the next person stay in their lane. But we, as a people, don't want to see nobody in the lane that God told us to go in, but we have no experience in it and don't know the price that you paid to be where you at or the price that I paid to be sitting in this seat. They think, brother, I can do it, brother, I can talk. But you don't know the price that it costs me to be sitting in this seat.
Okay.
And talking like I'm talking.
Okay.
Not from just master's degree in education, but master's degree from the streets of hard knocks of the streets. So I come and sit up straight and say, hey, to be me, it costs you something. It's going to cost you something. To have the wisdom and knowledge I have, it costs you a lonely place in your life. A place where you just read, a lot of places you hear, others don't hear because what I have in me is for me.
You mentioned about reading, but you read several papers each morning, right?
I'm cutting down. I was reading 4, but I read a book. I'm not a book reader.
Okay.
I'm not a book reader. I'm more of an information, but now with all the cable channels and so much information pouring in, now the print paper, it's late news. So I read a book, T.D. Jakes, Instinct, The Instinct, where how you have instinct to turn, instinct not to go. And that book have helped me tremendously change who I am, identify who I am, and help me against the roadblocks I was run against. Because I'm not going to reinvent me,
Okay.
but I got to know the roadblocks that's facing me and how to accommodate the roadblocks that I face. Yeah, so that's where I've been. Them papers get the news old. If I get to the TV, the news old. Let's not want to go into details.
Okay.
Because small stuff is small part of details.
Brother Willie, as you've known all over Lake County,
Yeah.
you're also known, you have been anointed by God and your wife as elders in the church.
Yeah.
And you have traveled all over the country, giving services, Texas, and you've been to Florida, and so for Chicago even, you know.
We be next Wednesday, 19th, 20th of this month. We be in Palatine, Texas, at nighttime, evangelizing under a tent in the hood, not at a church.
Okay.
Outside, giving the word, bringing in the lost. We believe we're gonna turn Texas upside down.
You in the hood in Chicago, and I think in the area
where people get shot.
Where people get shot.
And we went out there, and God moved in a mighty way. So I guess my calling is a calling of evangelism.
Okay.
My calling is a calling of going in to high places. I've been in Washington numerous times, and being able to have access to senators and congressmen, and not only get this word out to my local brother, who, matter of fact, today I seen a brother getting cans. He wasn't getting the cans out of the garbage to make, because he was hungry.
Okay.
He was making a living off the pan.
Okay.
And I was getting there, and I told him, and we was in a wealthy place. We were sitting in a wealthy place.
Okay.
And I let him know, man, I've done that before. But then we got to talking about the Lord. And then he said he had a house and a car, but he humbled himself to go in them garbage cans to get this money.
Okay.
So I along the way, we have to, I'm talking about the cost of being me, the cost of being you. Put the who we are today is not even a reflection of what the road we had to do to get to sit in these seats. These seats cost you and I more than people could even imagine. Oh, I can be there and do what Mr. Brooks do. I can give me a tablet. I can ask some questions. But they don't understand. You said a few minutes ago, I take my time and study this before I come. And I write out the question, but I have no question. I have no answer sheet. So I have to rely on my intellect and the things that happened through my Hard Knocks University courses, which I took.
Not only that, but you are an entrepreneur in addition to all the things that I named.
Yeah, my wife owns a couple. Right now, she owns a couple of restaurants, and she's moving into she's in the restaurant business.
Okay.
And, she's doing just opened a new restaurant, and God's really blessing her. I'm just a guy who sits at home.
No, you're a supporter. You're not just sitting home now. You're
I
a supporter.
support my wife. I support her. But I just, it's God has really been good to us.
Okay.
For her, this door that just opened, and we had another door where we was able to help a lot of young people learn, teach them how to work.
Okay.
Nobody teach the kids how to work no more. They don't know how to work. When I was young, we had a little job paying $1.25. We learned how to work on the naval base, Fort Sheridan. We learned how to work. But now, kids don't know how to work.
Oh, I used to work in a bowling lane. Could get 25 cents a line.
So the challenges.
Having 2 lanes, go from one to the other, 25 cents a line.
That's what I'm saying. The challenges of 2014.
But the kids won't do that now.
Let's teach our kids how to work. We give them everything, but then when it's time to work, we can't get them out the house. They can't find a job because every job one is spent. What you spend? Begging from your mama.
Okay.
So when mama gone, what you got to do? You got to get Johnny. And Johnny ain't got no way to put you. I'm just saying, where do we learn how to work? That's not in the school system. That's in our system of being men. Tell them the time you have to be somewhere, a clothes, dress code, and how to talk to multicultural people.
Okay.
That's essential in these times. How do we get our children to learn the language of multicultural people? Because if you can't learn the language, you will not be able to feed yourself or your family.
I really have to congratulate you because graduating from the School of Hard Knocks.
School of Hard Knocks.
And, you know, racism was included in that, too, because you go through that and you just take it, you learn how to adjust.
Well, racism is live and well. I went to Waukegan when it was 98% white.
Okay.
I went to Waukegan with 98% white back in the 60s and 50s.
Oh, that sounds like a restaurants in downtown Waukegan.
Yeah,
you couldn't even eat
98%
it.
white.
Yeah.
And so when they taught the white boy, they had to teach me. I may have got a D and an F, but I still had to learn.
Okay.
So I took that knowledge and I went on through life. And wherever I went, I knew their language.
Okay.
I know when to shut up. I know when to talk. I had a mannerism about myself. And my grandmother and them worked and cleaned houses on the North Shore.
Yeah.
So that between the North Shore cleaning houses and their lane was different. And please, my eating habits and everything was because what they did on the North Shore, being the maid and being the kitchen help. And then the school I was going to in Waukegan, I became a person who know how to maneuver my way through the system of multicultural.
People don't realize this, but we all came from the same dust.
Yeah.
We have to realize that.
But a little rain got on, so we made mud. So after rain got on, so made mud, it gelled us in the potter's wheel, so all of us are different. See, some of us can't get that old stuff out of our head. Do you remember when? I got 3 minutes to talk to somebody talking that remember when. I don't hang out with old people. I don't keep on them old conversations. I got 3 minutes because they told you remember that bike you fell off when you were sick? I say the bike been smashed. The bike and became something else. I have became something else, and it's no more conversation. We're not talking about where we going. I got about 3 minutes. Like a politician, got 3 minutes to talk. I got 3 minutes to talk about what we did 30 years ago. That's my philosophy.
Wow, wow. Okay, you were lived here in Waukegan. You lived in Detroit.
Yeah.
And I guess politicians are no different between here. Here in Illinois or Detroit, right? I mean, it's
well, it's what I'm telling you.
It's love or money, I guess.
Well, I'm telling you, it comes down to this: without political favor, you have no educational favor.
Okay.
So you have no economic favor. We have to go in the political system, one way or the other, and go in the educational system, so we can learn how to be an economical system. We as a people in Lake County, the richest county in America.
Yeah.
One of the richest counties in America, own nothing. We own businesses, but they are multicultural business. I'm talking about local stuff. We own nothing. No gas station, no motel, nothing we own. We talk about going to heaven, but he said, why would he put us in earth to walk around barefooted when he got all this? He said, all this is mine. When we own nothing, we don't want to own nothing. All we want to do is a job. Until the man said, well, you know what, you can't work no more. Well, you fight to keep the job. So we lost our purpose. We got to come back to purpose. What is the purpose of being? What is the purpose of being a human? What is the purpose of earth? What is the purpose why we living now and all our friends are dead? What do God want? Because it's not work. What do he want us to do? To be life changers. The challenges of 2014, that we come forward and help change the generation who have no leaders.
One of the main challenges in 2014 is, well, Ecclesiastes 12. Fear God and keep his commandments. That's a major challenge. If we do that, then we don't need, over 600, laws like Moses had,
Yeah.
All we have to, love one another. I can't love you unless I love myself.
Yeah.
Right? I have to love myself before I can show a love for you.
Give them easy words. But we can have a church next door, and I don't speak to the pastor.
Oh my!
I got people come in the church who don't even speak to me, and I don't speak to them.
Okay.
Because I'm not just saying personally. I'm saying church per se. We got people who go to the same church, never have a conversation.
Amazing.
So how do I know you? How do I not love you when I don't even know you?
Amazing.
So that we have built a community on our own little cliques instead of saying, let my love shine outside the door. Let my love, let the love in me change another person's mind because they can see the love in me. And that's what we have to live by.
Can we try Matthew 6:33?
Huh?
If we try Matthew 6:33, then, you know, we can, but and that's what happened. Bible study you mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, first, seek ye the kingdom of God, and then all things will be added.
But you got to come back to, even before you get to Bible study, you got to pray. You got to come back to prayer, because nobody want to pray, but they want all the riches. They want all the riches. You got to have a communication. You and your wife have to have a communication. While y'all married, y'all still have to have a communication. Y'all have to have a prayer brings communication between me and the Father. And prayer. I can't learn nothing if I don't know the Father. I'm just learning information. Information and revelation are two different things. Okay. But once I know him and he know me, we have a discussion.
You mentioned about my wife, though, but it's only been 56 years.
Yeah.
There's no way that we could have been together 56 years if God hadn't put us together.
Yeah, and y'all communicate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with one woman, 56 years.
And with one man.
One man.
So
Woo.
You have quite a few years.
I've been married 3 times, so.
Okay. So you kind of.
This one is 25 years. 25
okay.
years. But that's a long time.
Right,
but 56 years, that's good. That's good. And
what?
you've been faithful 56 years.
Oh, yeah,
See,
yeah.
you know, she told me he's been a good man.
No one in this county, you know, can say I chased him.
Yeah. I don't know about St. Louis, but
I had to leave East St. Louis.
They said, I'm going to leave this alone. They said East St. Louis is one of the worst places in the United States. I just read the other day, per capita of people. And you from there.
You're from?
That from. They got you out in time to meet me coming out of Detroit. Praise God.
And Brooks is and no kin.
They know kin. Came from the same farm somewhere.
Mississippi.
We were sold off.
Mississippi, right?
But we were sold off back in the old days.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad we're back able to talk to the community.
Amen. I'm
glad we can get out this what's in us, the challenges of 2014. And we just 2 senior citizens that believe that we can see the future for our children. Amen.
Okay, well, this is a recall, and you probably would be recalled again, so be ready. Be ye also ready, right?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're always ready.
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Brother Willie Brooks, a community activist in Lake County. He's an elder, and he's an entrepreneur, and he graduated from a school of hard knocks. And we have him back because you have asked for him to come back, and you will see him again soon. We hope that you've enjoyed hearing about the challenges and the Community 2014. If you have any input, you may, drbrooks.tv online, and let me know about your thoughts. This has been Community Forum. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks Sr., your host.